Welcome to the blind spot, where I sit by myself in the front, and Semler refuses to come on because he's stripping somewhere in the background.
He'll come eventually. He's coming. You saw Semler.
He's wandering away somewhere. Well, cheers, Bao. You'll have a nice tequila
right,
with
cheers.
me after the quadruple overtime round. You know, I can't answer that question for you. Semler wants to know he has a mic. So. That was a harrowing journey through 4 overtimes. Finally, Mad Lions are actually able to put it together. But what were your thoughts on that length of time when it was all clutch?
The problem is, I mean, we were talking about this before. When a game goes on that long, it becomes almost pointless to analyze it like a normal game. Like, we can't break down like the first half and then second half and then the next one, then next overtime. Like, there's too many mounds. So one thing I will say as more of a meta point about overtime games, which this game definitely fell into this trend, is once you get past even one overtime session, it just becomes like a crazy endurance stamina race at that point in time. Like, everyone's played a million rounds of Counter-Strike. We've all played a million T rounds on a map that's already fairly stale anyway. So at that point in time, it just comes down to individuals. It's like, who's going to make the biggest mistake? Who's going to try? This is the key difference. You're going to think I'm going to say, who's going to make the hero play? No. Who's going to try a hero play and fuck it up completely and lose the game? Because I tell you what, the amount of times in this game, even though they won this game, I saw Roy just whiff ridiculous shots. I'm pretty sure he hits every time in regulation. Then on the other side, there was the amount of times where Contact just did crazy pushes and spots. So I think at the end of the day, it was just a war of attrition.
Yeah, 2 mentally broke down the lease, and I guess Mad Lions just barely came out ahead on that race.
Yeah, I'm still wondering who won in that one. It's just all over the place. That was just a grind.
And the difference for me was when the Mad Lions players would get an edge, they had follow-up and they could close the round. Contact would get early kills, and then someone would just like not play off a teammate, not correctly pull back when you have the man advantage. So like, if you're Contact, you're really looking back at this game, think we blew this one. This could have been ours many times over.
I was just concerned about the quality of the next game. Should we have gone to a map 3? Because, you know, there were, what, 52 rounds in this game? And so that could be, like, 3 complete games of Counter-Strike.
It would have been Dust 2. It would have gone. We could have gone to overtime on Dust 2.
Yeah.
Would have absolutely been the same thing. Could have absolutely been the same thing. That's all you saw coming when you saw how this was breaking down on Mirage. If we got that 3rd map. I mean, it would have been great. Would have been fun to see, because it's still just an out-and-out battle between 2 teams who are surprisingly even. And so, entertaining Counter-Strike one way or another. But this does make me really wonder, you know, Mad Lions, I thought they would have more in the tank. I thought they would have more in terms of the playbook.
The problem here is Mad Lions won the series 2-0, but I actually think they came out looking the worst.
Yeah,
in the series.
I agree.
Contact actually showed us a lot of positive signs. All the players got on the board. The problem is, this second map here, this is the reason for people who don't know why Hunden was kicked from Mad Lions, is because they won all these great series elsewhere in other tournaments, which built their rep. You're like, wow, look at these young players, look at this team. But actually, I think not a lot of people, if they've played something like 7, 8 lands, they won one of them. And it's the one that no one knows. Because every time they got into a big pressure game like this, like you saw in this map here, it's like they went out of their way to gift the game to the other team. Acor, we had a whole bunch of rounds there where he was making very uncharacteristic errors where rounds were almost won.
Yeah, they were also just leaving gaps in their defense and things like that, like not knowing that a guy could have flanked window and got behind him. It's just that the Contact player, I think it was Esperanto in that case, just kind of like didn't know how to handle the situation. He didn't even know where he was, it seemed like at points.
That's a grind at that point, man. It's just a grind, and then you're coming down to who's going to break mentally first, because everybody's making mistakes at that point. Nobody's playing perfect CS. No. So I still want to give credit to both teams for making it that far. I mean, 5 overtimes, 5 rounds of overtimes. That's no joke. You're going for a long time. How long did that match last?
4 rounds, but yes.
Well, no, it's 5. I think we were on the 5th, weren't we?
I think we were on the 4th, but yeah.
Oh, we were on the 4th. Regardless.
I'm sorry, that is quibbling.
But the point is how long did the match last? Like 2 hours?
Yeah, it was a long time.
I mean, it also had a lot of tech problems as well, to be fair, so that did make it seem like...
Yeah, do you guys like me calling him out there? Because I was definitely... That was very convenient for TeamSpeak, of all things, to start acting up in the last round.
You could just grill them over it if we actually have an interview coming up. So I know Mad Lion's trying to sort that out right now, so feel free. Feel free, Seth.
Well, no, I mean, this is OG stuff, right? This is like throwing it back. To be fair, we are in a very specific position, aren't we, with this tournament? Because as we pointed out multiple times, this is online, but it's still on LAN. All the players are still in the house. Some of them got coaches still over there. We don't allow them to talk, coaches, But then to quote my good friend Sean Gares, if you aren't cheating, you aren't playing. So I don't know.
There's no way to enforce that.
Of course, that's the thing. There's no way to enforce it. So we're all here, like, yes. But I mean, dude, with how many tech pauses and key rounds kept happening there, I'm like, really, guys?
See, that's the part no one's thought about, is we're like, esports is fine, we can transition to online play. It's like, how's the admin supposed to look at your screen from 6 feet away like, I think he's playing legit. He's not cheating. I can't see, he's too far away. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to stand like this far behind and looking over the shoulder. So all I'm saying is, are the admins doing their job? If they are,
All right.
logically can get away with it.
All right, we do have an interview coming up. It is Roy
Oi.
from Mad Lions. So welcome to Flashpoint, the blind spot. You can't have a drink with us, but you can have a drink there and pretend you're with us. You might need a drink.
Yeah,
after
Are you
that
guys
game.
still in that mansion?
Yeah, we are.
Hell yeah, dude. You guys are doing quarantine in style.
To be fair, we know that
Yeah.
Roy here really enjoyed that game because he was doing his best to see if he could make a third map happen. Yeah, cheers for that, mate. It was almost a classic. You got some towards the end of the game. Everyone was getting a bit nervous in your team. Right? There was some misplays in the end of that
It
game.
was really, really intense. But I mean, I love those kind of games. It was really, really fun. I mean, it was so intense in the end, and we started screaming so much. And I think in the end, everyone was really, really happy that it ended up on our side. And really good game from Bobsky, and like he got us into the overtime in that last round, and I think that really pumped us up. So it was really fun.
This is one thing I want to ask you about though, which is as great as Mad Lions has been, and obviously when you guys were tricked before, like rising up through the scene, getting all these great like nice placings, really nice eye tests, the style of play is great. You have lost a lot of the really close games like this. Like these are the games where you guys like, I don't know if it's experience, what is it? Like something goes wrong when the games get really tight like this for Mad Lions often.
I'm not really sure what it is. I think we probably have some issues. I mean, we are some young players and we are kind of upcoming, and I think sometimes the nerves gets to us in the end, and maybe like we run out of ideas, especially in like games like this when they really go out for so long. It can be hard to like figure out what you really want to do, and that's like the games where you really need some experience to like know, okay, what do we do in this situation, because you don't end up in those situations when you're practicing, or like, and it's only really like it's not that many official games where you play really close, so it's like I think it just comes down to experience and like nerves and that kind of stuff. But I think we're like getting really, really much better at it, and right now we have really good team chemistry, so like that helps a lot to like keep the calm and like be together as a unit when things go down, and like if things doesn't go our way, we are really good at like backing each other up right now, so that's good.
Who tends to do the most of the moral leading, like hyping you guys up?
I think it's pretty different. Like usually it comes down to who has like if you have a really good game yourself, like I think it's like anyone can be really hyping us up, but I think in general it's mostly like maybe me and Asilian and Bubsky for that matter. Especially in this last game, he really had an insane game. He was like really feeling it. So a player is really feeling it, you can instantly feel it on the TeamSpeak as well. So that's really nice to have.
I've got a question for you then. So obviously, listen, it's still a touchy subject, the whole Hunden getting replaced by a Cillian thing, and there's a lot of time needs to pass before we can ever get into the real details of all that stuff. So I would just say this. What were the expectations or the hopes bringing a Cillian in? What's he supposed to bring to Mad Lions?
I think what the Cillian is really good at, he's a little more structured, I feel like. He has a lot of good ideas. He is actually a really good leader, and he has a really good leadership kind of personality. Which I think we all enjoy, and he's like he can be harsh when it's needed. He knows when to like say the right things, and I feel like just in general as a leader, he's really good, and I feel that's something we really need on the team right now.
Sorry, we'll allow one dab for every 50 frag game that Bubsky has. So if there's one, you want to have another one, you need another 50 frag game, otherwise it's off.
Did you play in your jersey today, or just put that on for the interview?
For the interview, of course.
I thought it was weird you were wearing the jersey, so I was like, maybe it's some sort of pre-game ritual to get yourself in the mood, but no, not at all.
No, we all play in just like casual stuff, what you just want to wear. Like it's pretty nice to play online in that case, because you can just like do whatever you want to feel comfortable.
I mean, to be fair, Monty, even when we were on LAN, like teams can actually, Danish players can play in jerseys that they actually, it's not the team they're on. It doesn't even mean anything, does it? So, shout out FPX.
That's true. That's true.
That's true.
Was there anything that changed? Because it was so back and forth in overtime, and then you guys were finally able to string some rounds together. Was there something that clicked for you guys in that moment, or just a little bit of luck?
I think, like, to be honest, like in the end, it's kind of a lot of gambles and there's a lot of new things coming out because, I mean, in such a long game, you just try to run out of ideas. Like you've done all your strat book and you have tried everything, so it's like really a lot of things are on the fly and it's gambles and it's like taking chances. So I think it's like part is a small part of it is of course lucky if you have the right stack and stuff. But I felt like we had a good read of what we wanted to do and what to expect. So in the end, I felt like we just outplayed them.
Was there one round you guys were most proud of in terms of overtime? Thinking about it now,
I don't think I remember that.
It's worth a
see,
shot.
let's
It's
see.
worth a shot.
I'm not sure. I think, for me at least, I think I had a really good read on what they wanted to do, and we were playing 3 guys A, and we actually got A cup rotating towards Ticket really fast, and we were 3 guys A, and we were standing really, really good when they went up on contact with flashes and stuff, and I think that basically won us that round. I mean, we were really heavy stacked towards A, and it was one of the most important rounds, I feel like. So.
Basically, at the very end of the game,
yeah,
I think he means.
When you got
Maybe
the
the second
3-0,
last one.
basically
Something.
secured the 3-0 on that CT side, or is
Yeah,
that the
exactly.
round?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
round,
okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think on contact, in your opinion, who's the best contact player? Like, who impresses you?
I think it's pretty different. Like, I think Esperanto, ships, and like I think both of those are like they can pop off in individual games, but I feel like ships is a bit more consistent, and I feel like every time we play against like him, he just does something insane. Either like 1 to 5 times every time, and I think he does some really insane clutches or like shots and stuff all the time. So I think definitely he's the one to look out for.
All right. Well, I think that will do it for us today. Congrats on making another group final there, Roy. Still looking like the favorites here at Flashpoint 1. So we'll see you in a couple days' time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Any final thoughts on the Mad Lions contact game before we take a break and then play some bullshit games after that?
I think when the game's going that crazy, you just need a little bit more crazy. Bubsky showed crazy in terms of flaws and successes. So shouts out
Here's
to
the
him.
thing. My analysis would be, you'd think it'd be really exciting to have a close shave like that, but it doesn't always look as good as you'd expect. You have
Sometimes
to be
you-
different in your mind.
Sometimes you just end up looking like a pirate accidentally.
This looks like a down on his luck pirate. Like, it's all right, mate. There'll be another ship.
Come on.
coming at some
Pirates
point.
are always down on their luck. They were just sitting out
That's
there
the whole point,
floating
isn't it?
around for months.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's all right. Luck will turn. Luck will turn.
All right. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break, guys, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the playoff race. See you then. I've decided that we're not going to talk about the first match of the day because I think that is something that is best left forgotten.
Of this series, yeah, I don't even think the Mad Lions players were.
No. You already. He already forgot it. He already forgot it. He deleted it from the memory bank.
Oh, right.
I love it. Just proving my point. That was actually accidental and not scripted. We are, however, going to take a look at our replacements bracket to see where the teams are standing right now here in Phase 2. Boom.
Nice. That time.
Mad Lions 2-0, just barely. And they will enter their second phase finals. They have only lost one best of 3 to Havu so far here in Flashpoint. Now, in our bottom bracket, Contact and FPX are playing a really interesting series. Because if FPX wins, they could find themselves in playoffs. If Contact loses 2 third-place finishes, ooh, you're really on the ropes there for making playoffs at all. So I'm really excited about that matchup personally. Chaos obviously going to be okay. We're also going to look at our playoff standings now that we have our 4th place teams in every single group. And we're going to talk about the playoff race because we're at a point where that's going to become relevant. Now, remember, Chaos is now in 4th place. And, of course, we saw Copenhagen Flames with the double 4th place finishes. They are done and dusted here in Flashpoint 1. Envy still have a chance there after 4th place finishes. FPX, obviously, with a 4th place finish as well. Now, we got to look at these 30-point teams. This is where it gets scary. Gen.G, Contact, and Dig, all with 3rd place finishes in the first phase. Probably at least one of these teams is not going to make playoffs. And that is very important because guess what? All these are partner teams. I can smell the fines coming in already. Those 3rd place finishes are very, very dodgy. So,
actually, as it stands right now, like in terms of the eye test, Gen.G's looking like one of the worst teams of the bunch.
Yeah, their players just haven't shown up to even close to the expectation we had for them. They were sick on land, but I mean, online, the switch has just been detrimental massively towards Bentet and Som, I'd say.
All right, so based on those standings, and based on what you guys have seen in Phase 1 and Phase 2 so far, we're going to play a little game, which is the team that you hope, that's on the edge, that you hope makes playoffs.
I would pick the one we saw today, Contact. I think if you look at the Contact players, they've got a really nice depth of skill in the squad, so you've got players who can pop off and give you great moments. They actually surprisingly have matched up pretty decently with most squads have played.
It also sucks for them because they were in the group twice with Mad Lions and lost twice to Mad Lions, and Mad Lions being the best team in this tournament, they,
It feels a bit hard done by the situation they've been. Yeah, they've had the 2 hardest groups, arguably. I guess this wasn't the hardest, but they had the best team in the tournament in their group twice.
Yeah, I would go for Gen.G. I think there's just so much star power on that team. It'd be really exciting to see them go any farther.
You really want to see more of Gen.G right now.
They could get it together and win, though.
I think with a week of prep, with Dap saying, hey guys, I know I'm not there, but I made this new strat book for us, so we don't have to just keep defaulting and looking silly every round. I think they could really show up. Just take some of the brain power out of their game for Daps. Just give them a couple, set plays, execs, because right now they're just defaulting and just playing off a feel a lot of the time. And that's just something that, it's been kind of a little bit boring to watch, honestly. But if they just get rolling in a game, they can continue that fire.
Yeah, but look, I keep hearing, they're going to have another break and they're going to fix their shit. And their shit is never fixed. So is it going to take a week to fix their shit? At this point in time, I'm kind of done with those guys for Flashpoint.
All right, and then I'm looking right at Elma Putty and Daps. I'm looking right at you guys. We keep giving you guys passes. Just show us something, please. Come on, give us some strat. Show us strat. Give us a set play. I need a new. Give me a new one-way smoke. Come on, every Elma Putty video shows all these cool little setups and strats. Where are they? Where are these strats? Come on.
Also, if Cloud9 outplaces Daps, then how can you talk any shit? You were on that
point.
Just say we were bigging you up. We were all pulling for you.
Well, automatic as well. Yeah. So
He's there too.
Anyway.
I'm going. I want Dig. That's right.
Okay. What do you want?
Summer's like, I love it when we have viewers.
many, exactly. Yeah.
To be fair, you do have that
viewers,
Jean-Paul Gaultier look going
viewers
on,
that
so
aren't.
I can imagine you do want Dig.
I knew the pause was going to be there, and it's fair enough. But, you know, the dig, man, they put it on the table. It's just, it surprises you.
Delectable.
It surprises you.
Slapping it on the table.
Raven Dig.
Surprises you. It takes you by surprise, and really, it just takes you to wild, magical places because that's what they've done in the past. It's hard to pull this off when they're cracking off over there. Right. So, no, really, I don't want those legends to go out this way. It's like you don't want to see guys like Get Right and Forrest bomb out of a tournament with this quality of play.
You're riding with the old school,
So what
I'm ride or die with
Dig
Dig
rider.
right now.
What?
All over it. All over.
Just couldn't watch the MJ Wizards. Couldn't
All right. What I love about both Genji and Dig being in this position is that one of them is definitely getting a third place again because they are matching up next. So that's going to be very exciting. The odds that one of them knocks the other one out of Flashpoint completely are very high.
So Dig takes Genji right there, and we see Dig make the run all the way up to
Look,
the
if Dig makes whichever of those teams takes top 2, they're going to be fine.
Dude.
So it really is everything on the line for playoffs for them in that next match.
Get Right and Forrest. If they perform like when we casted them, if they perform like that, I think they can take anybody. They were dropping so good. I mean, they were dropping huge frags, making big plays. It was like it was 2014 again. It was crazy. I want to see those guys in there, and I want to see them dropping 30 bombs against players like these. And this isn't a knock on these players. They just don't have the pedigree, the experience of the Dig players. The Dig players should be in there.
I agree with
there.
you. Not only because I want viewers, but because Dig at least seems to get better every match they play.
Well, I want real viewers, not just botted viewers or whatever. You know, like hosted viewers, I think is what it is. So can I get real viewers here? Yeah.
Look, we're not discriminating against robots, okay?
I am. Yeah.
Wow.
Humanity shall not create a human mind. In a machine. I think that was it.
Asimov.
Asimov, and I was thinking Herb. But, you know,
Oh, right.
We can go with Asimov too.
The sci-fi wars have begun.
Let's do it.
Anyway, now we're going to go the other direction, which is where you really enter the danger zone, which is that we're going to say the team who's on the cusp that you do not want to make playoffs. And you can't pick teams that definitely won't, like Copenhagen Flames.
Thank God. I was gonna pick them, but
Yeah. No, look, I'm here to keep you on.
Yeah, exactly. Can we see the list again?
Yeah,
please?
bring up the bracket
this
again.
is,
We'll take a look at
before we even look, I already know mine. It's Dig. I don't want to see them play anymore. I'm sick
The
of
youngins these days, no respect whatsoever.
Come on.
What is happening
Come on.
to this society, this culture?
You, at the very least, you should want them so you could get some Schadenfreude. Have you no joy over the demise of NIP Magic?
I think we'll see that in the next match. Genji's gonna take him out for sure. It's happening. I think Elma Putty heard me. He just hit my DMs and was like, "Dude, I got you. So
Always sliding in those DMs with you.
This is going to sound cruel. I don't know why I'm even doing that disclaimer at this point in my career.
I mean, yeah, seriously,
exactly.
Tucker, come on. This is
10
character.
years in, this might be a bit of an arsehole thing to say, actually, Senator, but no, so what I was going to say, though, is, even though Havu have actually impressed me quite a lot, and I think mad respect to what they've done, bearing in mind, Contact, Dig, if they win their matches and win the group, they could actually make Havu get just bumped out, potentially. So I will say, if I had to pick a team not to make the playoffs, I would pick Havu, because the problem is I don't believe they can win Flashpoint.
Yeah, they're definitely making the playoffs.
They feel, how does that work?
Because they've already advanced enough and taken second place last time that going to be super hard for them not to
they're in the
playoffs.
final.
They'll make top
Yeah.
8.
Yes,
I mean, are we
that's true.
talking
I
about
thought that. That's right, actually.
So are we talking about making the cut for playoffs or winning the whole thing?
No, but in this
playoffs.
case,
Making
it's
the
because
cut
they
for
haven't
playoffs.
added the points yet for
Who we
Havu.
don't want to
Yeah, sorry. It is confusing because only the fourth place teams have had their points
That's what we
added
didn't
to that.
consider, right? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's Envy because I have seen a bunch of trash matches from Envy, and I saw one good match against Cloud9 where they were all hyped up on vengeance.
Sure.
And then they just regressed immediately back to their previous form. So I'm kind of done with these guys.
I don't think you're alone in that.
They weren't good enough. That's the problem. Because the real problem is they didn't even live up to the expectation of that roster. I'm not even talking about all the rest of the teams. I expected more of those players.
Well, I started to get excited because I thought, hey, maybe now with Moose in, maybe now that they've had a little bit more practice or getting settled, now that they're back in Dallas, comfortable, maybe we'll see that form again from Calix, but they just regressed immediately back to where they were before.
Okay, so you don't want to see Envy make the playoffs.
I thought mine was the best because I
tough,
actually picked
yeah.
a team who's definitely going to make it.
It's all right. I'm sorry. You
I
can
don't want them to make it either.
Look. That's about. Look. This is
next up?
Can we bring up that graphic
subjective.
again? Just
This is,
give
we
it
can bring
The
it back.
reason why I was
This
given
is
for that anyway was since I don't think they can win. Like to me, they're a good.
Sure.
What I like
No,
about them is they're
totally
like a
valid.
gatekeeper team, you know. So
Bring up the
on the one
graphic.
hand, props to them. Like they've done a great job. But I want even if it's a team
The
like
playoff point
Contact,
graphic.
team like Contact could actually just literally trip over, just have a good day, and suddenly do amazingly. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just see teams that have a chance to win.
Look, I don't care. It's a bullshit game and it's a bullshit question. So not wanting to see more games from them in the playoff is perfectly valid if you don't think that they have enough of an upside. And I think there is a strong argument for that if you consider teams like Gen.G and Contact where they at least have the ceiling where if they catch on fire, they might be able to do something here. Whereas Havu, I think pretty valid
I
argument.
think it's pretty clear cut for me. Gen.G. Just don't want to see him in the playoffs.
Oh,
Don't
me and Sem are just battling.
see
Picking
Gen.G.
each other's teams.
in the playoffs. Despite the fact that they've got sick hoodies. Really nice merch. Send me some, please. But, no.
They're going to
don't
send
want
you loads after saying that.
don't want to see them in the playoffs. Just don't want to see them in the playoffs. You know why? Because they're in the wave dig. If they were up against anybody else, wouldn't have a problem with it. But somebody's got to fall. And unfortunately, it's got to be you.
the battle of the black and gold.
That's it. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for the spirited conversation about that. We're going to take a look at our weekend schedule. We are not going to have any matches tomorrow, but we're going to have a ton of matches on Saturday and Sunday as we conclude Phase 2. It will be Team Envy versus Cloud9 in a battle for...
Oh, I get to cast Gen.G Dig as well.
Oh, you're a lucky man.
Totally unbiased on commentary coming up.
Look, there's a lot of good matches, like Gen.G Dig, also the rematch of Envy Cloud9 with former teammates. Very exciting matches on Saturday. And do we have Sunday's matches? No.
Guess if it's just the orders.
Pretty sure.
So these are going to, obviously what's going to happen is we don't know Sunday's matches yet because it's going to be the finals in every single group. So it'll be the winners of all these games going up against the teams that have already qualified in those groups.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this FPX Contact rematch because that was a really close series the first time around, and it felt like FPX just kind of lost that on their own. Contact, they didn't really show me any reason they should have won that. It's just told me that Bad News Bears gave me a lot of reasons that they should lose the game. So.
There is a part of me that just really wants like the one upset from Bad News Bears just to squeak into the playoffs, but
Also,
I wanna see
the second and third games there are also literally like elimination games. Like the Gen.G
No.
Dig one, obviously someone has to win that to go through, and then FPX and Contact both have everything to play for. Whereas Cloud9 Envy, actually in theory, Cloud9 could take their foot off the gas on that one. They're already through. It's just whether they make the top seed or not. So the second two, I think there's some spice there.
yeah, and also like the playoff points are very heavily
Cloud9
weighted.
won the first one, Samla.
No, it's because I'm wondering if we're casting together on Gen.G Dig on Saturday.
Oh, at some point we cast another game. So which
no,
one
we do. I just can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday.
Damn.
All right, maybe with Bartle.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Who knows what's going on here at Flashpoint?
Hey, in my life now, yeah, definitely.
It's a new adventure every day for many reasons at this present time in human history. So we will see you again, not tomorrow, but Saturday, where we play all of our losers bracket finals. Sunday, where we play all of our grand finals in these groups. And then we'll head into our playoffs in the next week. So thank you all for joining us here at The Blind Spot. We'll see you on Saturday morning.